We are back on the shed. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So I am currently doing a voiceover because I was having mic issues in this again. I did get it fixed, so later on in this video you'll get to hear actual sound, but I figured out what was going on with it. But earlier this week we did get a delivery to our wonderful new address, which is still exciting. But we ended up buying a shed. It's a little metal outdoor shed that you can just buy online. It is a 5x3, so it's something super tiny. It's not the shed that we're actually going to build, the bigger one. Yes, we have to build this one, but this one we actually are going to be using it for a pump house slash electrical area kind of thing. That's our future plans for it, but our main goal right now is because we are entering winter, we're in winter, whatever you want to call it. It's cold, it's windy, and so we need to make sure that we get our water pump from out of the elements, and then we also want to get our water heater as well out of the elements as well, since we're going to be getting a new water heater. So we just want to have everything prepared and sealed, and so we figured that rather than having to put everything into the big shed and wait until that's done, let's go ahead and let's just get this little temporary shed that we can keep everything out of. So that's what we are going to be doing today. And yeah, so the entire shed, believe it or not, came in this little tiny box that's super, super skinny. But I thought that the instructions were going to be a lot more annoying than what they really were. But between Elijah and I, we were able to put it together. I'm pretty sure we could have put it together in a day, but it was super cold. And as you see, the day progresses, it's going to get cold and it's going to get windy. And our fingers were starting to go numb. So we ended up carrying it out to, I think, a 2 or 3 day. I think it was a 2-day process. And also in between us working on the fence and doing other stuff. But yeah, that was mainly the longest that it took us, just because of the outdoor conditions. But here I'm starting with the actual base of the frame. Okay, so this weekend that we decided to assemble this and put this together, we were coming out of a cold front. I know just recently everybody went through a like a frost winter storm. This one was before that one and it was still cold. So for some reason this weekend, even though the rain stopped and the weather was starting to warm up, this weekend decided that it was coming for us with a vengeance. And so it was pretty much, even though the sun was out, it was pretty much cold all day long with non-stop winds. So pretty much any part of your body that wasn't covered was ending up frozen. And the sucky part about the shed is that it came with a bunch of little tiny bolts and screws, and it's hard to handle stuff that small with gloves on. So it's like you couldn't wear gloves because it just didn't work out. But you know, I'm glad that we are approaching springtime now. I know we still have a few more weeks of winter left, but I'll be happy when spring comes. Alright, so we just came in, and so we were wondering why it was so cold. It's because it is 46 degrees outside, and luckily in here it is 73 degrees, but right now we have the heater on to warm it up. Usually before bed we'll run it up until we go to sleep, so maybe about 9-10 o'clock-ish, and usually it will get about 80, we try and get it to at least 80 degrees, 80 to 85 degrees, but I think one time we got it 90 degrees and Elijah was complaining, so but the wind is still out there blowing. But yeah, so that's why we were frozen popsicles when we came in. Okay, good morning. So we are back on the shed. So I guess the mini shed, I don't know, would this be called a water pump house? slash solar shed. I don't know. We'll see what that's going to be. But so we just have 2 more of these long panels to attach. I think you'll be able to see Elijah up here in a minute, up behind me. So we have 2 more of these that we need to attach, and then there's another one that's a thicker piece that attaches here, and the roof will be done. We were talking last night about how we can prepare this thing for the elements. So I'll show you once we're done building the inside, where you can kind of see all the, I have the washers if you need them, where you can see all of the gaps that are in it, and stuff can most definitely squeeze through the gaps. So we're going to, here you go.
Okay.
So we're going to end up doing a gap filler. We were talking about potentially, we have a lot of scrap pieces of mesh from when we did the play area and from now the fence. We were thinking of taking the scrap pieces and kind of wedging them in some of the gapped areas, and then take the spray foam and spray it in there and see how that goes, because we will need to spray foam around the entire bottom and then around the actual top part, like this part here on the back, and then basically where the roof attaches, because like I can like stick my finger in there, so that's a no good. So so we'll end up spray foaming on the gaps, and then we were looking into spray foam insulation so that we can insulate the inside of this.
I guess it's supposed to do that.
That's the last piece for that one, and then there's one more. It's a different piece, a wider piece.
For the side?
Yeah. So this is where we're at with the shed. It's coming together nicely. So we went ahead and we attached these little eaves that go in there just to give it a nice clean edge. And then right now Elijah's going around and capping these off on the actual like corners so that the corners are not sharp and nice to go. So the next part is for inside. So I could stand up fully in here, but we're gonna have to get like caulk to close up these gaps here. And then as you can see, this is where you can see the outside daylight going, sorry, get this little going all the way around. And then at the front up here, and then down on the bottoms down there. So that's where we're going to be using our spray foam at. And then we'll just use normal insulating spray foam to, you know, cover all the walls so that it can be insulated. Right now, the wind out there is blowing, and if the door is on here, it'll be nice and completely warm in here right now. So clearly it should be able to do what we want it to do, but we'll check back in a little bit. Okay, so we got to a good stopping point for the shed. We're at the point where the structure is done. It's now time for us to build the door, but we figured it's starting to get super windy out here and we can see a bunch of dust blowing towards us. We figured that we would go through and get the foundation set up so that we can put the shed into its semi-permanent spot. It's going to move later once we get the actual shed built. So we just want to make sure it's anchored down because we do get high winds over here. Luckily, with it being behind Terry, Terry's blocking most of the wind that it's going to get, and any wind that it might get from the front side, it will just push it into Terry. But pretty much we're going to be using for the base the old pavers that we picked up off of Facebook Marketplace last year for free. And so with those ones, our big pavers are 1 foot wide. The smaller ones are about 10 inches wide, and then they're 4 inches thick. So I think we're just going to go like 2 inches down. We're going to try and get this as level as possible. The shed is 5 by 3, so I think we're going to do a 6 by 3 pad. What is that? Is that true root?
I don't know why it looks like that. Why would he use white?
Because it's underground. It's like, you never seen like a potato or cassava root?
No.
They're usually white. So Elijah just found this root, and I swear it looks like a potato. It smells like a potato. Like everything about it is like potato like. See how that's like fibery in the inside? I swear this has to be a potato. This is not a tree root. I was growing potatoes earlier, and I'm wondering if somehow one ended up in the ground, because they were over here, because they were growing in a grow bag, and we had a big wind that came through, and the grow bag, I think this one, no, this one is not the one that tipped over, was it? No, I think it was the other one that tipped over. But yeah, just look at that root system, and it's like, it's so like supple, like a potato, like where you could just, I swear that's potato. It smells like potato. Okay, smell the inside.
Yeah, I think that is.
Yeah, because like when you have a dirty potato, like when I wash the potatoes from like the grocery store, that's what they usually smell like when I'm taking the dirt off of them.
So you can just throw it in the ground and it grows, apparently.
It's so weird. Okay, so if you guys have any idea what these are, let us know, because it's so weird. It's not a root to a tree. It smells like potato, and I'm wondering if somehow my potato plants ended up outside of where they were supposed to be, and it decided to take root in there. But I don't know. It's so weird, and it's only like a few inches under the ground. I want to peel it and cook it, but I don't think that's responsible. So. Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn this video into a second part, because we still have to lay down the paver vase, and we still have to finish assembling the shed, and the video is a little bit long. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.